Hopping on, going live. Let's see. Okay. I just put it in my Facebook group. If anyone's up. It's 11:39, 11:40, so it's late. Don't know if anyone will be around. I'll wait and see. Yeah, if no one shows up. Hey! Yay! Somebody showed up. Melissa, hi. Good to see you. I'm trying to get back into the groove, getting used to being on camera again. If it's late, I'm not fixed up or nothing for going on. I don't care. Whatever. I'm old. Can you hear me okay? Because I'm on my laptop. Good. Okay. So it usually sounds funny through the laptop. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for popping in. Kind of hanging out, see if anybody else shows up. Oh, I got two people, looks like, but somebody not talking. Say hi. I don't bite, I promise. I saw this little poem I wanted to read. I thought it was cute. It's on this website. It's called storyberries.com. Poems for kids. Witch with a heart. It says the witch just isn't a very good witch, but does it really matter? It's really cute. Hey, Crow! Hugs. Good to see you. Good to see you, sweetie. Let's see. All right, I have got my little external mouse over here, but it's beside my big mouse, so I got to remember which is which. Yes, it has. It's been a long time. Yeah, and I'm just sitting here in my room. put off, get back on here. I said, no, I got to do it. I got to do it. If I want to get back into this, I just got to bite the bullet and do it. So I'm going to start out. I'm going to read this little poem I think is adorable. It's called Witch with a Heart. It's short. It won't take long. Get the right mouse. It says, I was born a normal babe, no crooked nose or warts. My family were most upset. This witch is out of sorts. I had no cackle, only cried. And then they taught me magic. I couldn't conjure any spells. My witchcraft skills were tragic. Flying lessons weren't so great. My broom's now in the trash. Turns out I'm afraid of heights. I tend to faint and crash. And when it comes to potions, I confess I'm having trouble. My cauldron tends to gurgle up a toxic form of bubble. Then there was my black cat George, who'd made my tonsils itch. Allergic to a cat? Mom cried. You're not a normal witch. Evil hexes aren't my thing. I have no cunning streak. My power is my skill to love. They call me odd and freak. But I don't care. I've got my friends. I'm happy for a start. I'm nonconformist, so unique. The one witch with a heart. I think that is one of the sweetest poems. And I guess I relate to it because that's me. I'm odd. I don't conform. I do bindings sometimes when needed, but not hexes. But I thought I'd get on here and share that. I thought that was adorable. It is cute. So how have you been doing? If I knew how to use uh, that stream thing, I'd do it. I don't know how to add anybody in. I don't think I can on this. You have to go to that other thing. Sleepy mostly. I must have caught you right before going to bed. I posted it in the Facebook group. And I don't know if Aiden's seen it or not. Probably not. He's probably working. Oh, yeah. Life. That's huge. I don't think anyone's ever truly fully figured it out. I don't care what they say. A lot of questions. You go through all of this stuff, and why? So much suffering. Why? I wonder. I'll tell you what my thought process is. It's not a matter of being rich or being famous or being the smartest. I look at everything that life throws at us, and we have these choices that we have to make. How do we react? There's so much cruelty in this world, and it is very cruel. We can choose an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. We can choose to forgive. We can choose perfect love and perfect trust, or not to trust anybody. And maybe everything we go through here is like a school to prepare us for something beyond that we're not aware of yet. I watched a video sometime last week. Young woman, she's like a psychic or something, and real bubbly and stuff. But she talks, oh, bless her heart. We just don't ever know where we're going to wind up in life. But she talks about astral projecting, and she's into all of the Galactic Federation stuff. I don't know if that's legit. I don't know if it's bull or if there actually is some Galactic Federation. But she was talking about being told that this battle, so-called battle between good and evil, has been going on for thousands of years. And that what she was told is we're a grand experiment. That you've got like the so-called forces of dark, forces of light, whatever label you want to slap on them. And humanity contains within us both. And the challenge is, can we learn to meld the light with the dark and get along, to coexist? Hang on, let me check my connection here. Okay. And so it would make this this life is a school, learning how to overcome. Don't let the dark overwhelm you. making the better choices, the higher vibrational frequency type of choices. This all sounds, new agey stuff, but there's scientific principles involved if you get into it and study it. It's what I've been doing, looking into, because I'm really very interested in that. Yes, I absolutely do believe it's a school, and it's a school of hard knocks. Every psychic that's looked into this that I've seen has said basically the same thing, that Earth is the hardest place to live out of the whole universe. This is like, what would you call it, special forces training kind of thing. It's real intense. And we come into here thinking, we're all big and bad and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Yeah, pile it on. We're going to clear everything out, all the karmic, all the quantum entanglement. We're going to do it in one shot. We can do it. We can do this. And we get stuck because it's harder than we realize. So then we get trapped with quantum entanglement known as karma and trying to work it out and getting in deeper and deeper. When the key is, in my opinion, from everything I've looked at and studied, from all these different religions, it all boils down to not living in hate, to not letting anger and wanting revenge dominate you. It's taking the high road. Bottom line, just taking the high road. If, like I said, if that makes sense. And there's people that wouldn't agree, but it seems to be the spiritual road to me, and that's the road I feel like I'm on. I'm kind of trying to figure out, in our path, we talk about perfect love and perfect trust. I think there's a lot more to that than we realize. I understand that. That is a good way to put it. Trying to find the happy in the simple. Very true. Absolutely. Yeah. Not easy to do sometimes. I think the hardest part is turning this off here. All the voices in our head. We got a lot of voices in our heads. You got your mamas, you got your daddies, you got friends that aren't friends anymore. You've got people that you thought you could trust that betrayed you. You got people that lift you up. You got people tearing you down. You got your employers. There's a lot of crap going on in here. Hey, sweetie. Good to see you, Lady Blind Wolf. But that's something I've been thinking a lot about. It's so easy to jump on the negative and to choose to be negative and to be critical all the time. And I think, just like I said, from my point of view, from what I've learned, what I've seen, we bind ourselves with that and limit our ability to overcome. You're okay. You agree with you? Yeah, I guess I need to agree with me, huh? You're fine. We just got started. We just got started. I read a little poem at the beginning of it I thought was really cute. But it has a point. Um, Having the one witch with a heart, it just, that resonated with. It's a kid's poem. It's really cute. But she's a little witch that she's not good at the other stuff, doesn't do the hexes and all that, but the one thing she can do is love. Yeah, it's okay, Melissa. I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny. Oh, no, 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 no. It's got nothing to do with what you were saying, Lady Blind Wolf. No, I agree with you. I put it on there that I agree with what you said. I'm talking about life in general. I look around and it seems like everything on Earth, referring to human civilization, everything, seems to be designed to keep us at a lower frequency, to be negative all the time, to live in fear. This one's going to get you. Got to watch out for that person. Watch out for them. They're going to get you. And that's something that Cosmic Crow and I were just talking about. She's trying to figure out life. We all are. What is this all about? And everybody's got their theories. And it just, to me, the simplest explanation is probably the right one. And that video you said was right because think it feeds into what you were saying. Look at how negative everything is in these videos. People gravitate towards make me afraid, uh, give me a jump scare in the ghost hunt videos, and those are the channels that are the most successful. You know, yeah. Well, I know, and that's I think the key. It would be foolish to not protect yourself because you leave yourself open for destruction. That would be foolish. But at the same time, you can do that without letting it drag you down into the hole. You know what I'm saying? It's that balance. It's acknowledging, yeah, I'm in this situation and I need to do these basic things, but that doesn't have to dominate my thoughts. Oh, bless your heart, sweetheart. I'm sorry you lost him. Hey, Grinnell. Big hug, sweetie. Yes, I absolutely agree with you, Lady Blonde. I do. Yeah, but all I'm saying is, let me give you an example. You know, if anybody knows me, you do, and how I feel about what's been going on politically. Okay? So let me just say, without naming names, I don't have to because you know me, I'm doing binding. Okay? That's the kind of working I'm doing to do what part I can do in my limited little sphere of influence. But I put that out there in the universe to bind what is causing such great harm, to bring healing. I'm not doing it out of anger and I'm not doing it out of hate. I'm choosing to do it using the highest vibrational focus, the positive, in a positive way. Native Americans say do things in a good way. Live your life in a good way. And I like that. That's to me is important to do. And I am so sorry, Crow, that you've been going through all of this. And I'm sorry that you've lost contact, had to cut off contact with your family. Family is so important. I am so sorry. Yeah, and here's the thing. Um, I don't know. No, I'm not speaking anything in specific. It's just general. Here's the thing. All right, because I've got the paranormal channel that I'm also firing back up as they get this one going back. But here's something I know that I'm well aware of. The fact that I'm a witch, I'm a pagan, it's going to come back and bite me in the butt down the road on that channel because of people that have church beliefs who have no true understanding of other paths, of other ways of believing, of living your life. And they've got the Hollywood stereotype, and just like you said, they gravitate to everything to do with witchcraft, paganism, and all that stuff is evil. It's demonic. And now, in my very own state, there's a certain pastor whose name I'm not going to name because it triggers algorithms all over the internet. Sad but true. But I know you guys have heard of him. He's one that's been preaching about burning witches, and he's already been burning books. And he's in my state. And he's feeding into the hate frequency on this planet. And that's, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So it's it goes right back to what me and Crow were talking about. What's life about? And like I told her, it's a school, but what are we here to learn? I think it's the rise above. I think it's learning how to take the high road. Doesn't mean you don't protect yourself. It doesn't mean you don't take the actions you need to take to protect yourself, to protect others, and to take the stand against the negative energies that are harmful. But you do that without falling into the dark energy of hate yourself, if that makes sense. I want to say something on that, Crow. Hear me out. I'm going to address Crow, and then I'll address what you said, Lady Blonde. Hold on. Okay. Because in my family, I'm like, eh. There's some people that suspect, but they're kind of dense and don't really understand when I've tried to kind of come out gently before. So I'm still basically one foot in the broom closet and the other foot out with my family. My daddy kind of knows. He doesn't know what it means, so he don't care. He's an atheist, so he thinks it's all crazy. What I've chosen to do is drop it. I live my life and I choose to love them. I don't have daily contact with my family, my extended family. I talk to my son, my daughter, real close right here, and I will do my magical workings, my affirmations, spell work, all of that to bless my family and leave it at that. Let life take over as far as that goes. You're in a situation where you've had to cut off contact because it was dragging you down and causing you harm. And it hurts, and I understand that. You do what you have to do to protect yourself because you cannot learn the lessons you're going to learn if you're constantly drugged down. The key, I think, is to do that, even that, having that love in your heart and understanding is the higher good. And just do your workings for them to have their eyes open. Because, there is a very true saying that you don't solve a problem with the same energy that created the problem. You have to go higher. You have to expand and come at it from a different point of view. Because if you keep hammering at something the same way, you're not getting anywhere and you just make it worse. Let's see. As far as saying anybody with disabilities is possessed by demons, that's bull. Honestly, maybe I've thought about this a lot. I see people that actually, literally, physically look like pictures I've seen of people from witch burning times, from a certain period in Germany's history. If you get my drift, it's eerie. It's like certain souls have been reborn. Like maybe they didn't learn their lesson back then, and they're back. And I've thought, are they actual souls, or are we in some kind of grand cosmic sort of multiplayer MMORPG game, and they're non-player characters, that they're not really humans? They're here to challenge us, like we get challenged in a game to overcome these challenges, and they keep bringing the same bullshit back, and we have to keep trying to beat it back generation after generation. I don't know. I don't have the answers, but this is what I think about, because it's so eerie sometimes when you look at history and then look at what's happening now. I'm like, why didn't we learn this before? We've been here. Yeah, absolutely, right, absolutely. We've got to learn, and we got to learn from history. We learn from each other. Really, don't start rubbing on my table, you silly cat. Silly girl. Yeah, that's true. That you have to learn to live for yourself and not for others. Yeah, but I think there's a balance on that too. Because we humans, The human species, we're a communal species. We have always lived in groups. We come together in families, in communities, in towns, in cities, in countries to stand together for protection, for strength, for survival. And I think there's a higher reason for that as well. There are certainly animals in the wild that live their lives completely alone, except when they come together to mate, propagate the species, and they go their separate ways. That's not how we're designed. So I think there's an aspect of we are here for other people. But the key is what you said, is that you don't let their opinion of you tell you who you are. It's going within, knowing yourself, and developing that self-confidence to then deal with other people in love and kindness and grace that you want for yourself, but to also be strong enough to not let them infect you with negativity, if that makes sense. It's like it's here. I'm trying to get it from here to here is not easy. Yeah, that's good, Crow. That's exactly right. That's what I'm saying. That's right. We can't. Yeah. Yeah, these are, and spell timber, that was a lot of fun. But that's why I just come on here is hoping y'all would be here. Some of you'd be here. So, we have a heart to heart like this. I miss that because it helps. I think it helps all of us. It's very helpful to share opinions because it helps fill in the gaps and see things from each person's point of view, and you can learn something from that. I missed you too, Crow. I missed all of you so much. I love you all so much. Yeah, and here's the thing. That's true. But with some people, it is just about control, a little bit of narcissistic tendencies they can't deal and they can't control. That's the ego. This is why, for me, I'm eclectic. I try to learn from everyone what is good to learn. And it's balance. We need our ego to function in this life, in this body, in this physical realm. We need it to take care of ourselves, care enough to make sure we've got food, clothing, and to build ourselves up. But it must be balanced as well with not becoming a narcissist, a sociopath, self centered, and all of that stuff. Everything in this life to me is seeking balance. Yes, we have to protect ourselves, but you don't want to build walls so high that you can't even connect with other people because then you cut yourself off completely. And you also run the risk of living your life feeding into fear. If you're afraid that every person comes in your life is out to get you, you certainly are cautious, but just don't get that invested until you know for sure you're going to give somebody a chance. Just be careful. It's just using your head. Hello, Phoenix Fire. Welcome. We're just chit chatting here. I appreciate everybody that's popped in. It's just me trying to get back into the groove. It's been so long. Hopefully, before it gets too cold, my dad was talking to me tonight about getting my patio done. So then, if I can get my patio done, then I can do some of these outside until it's too cold. It's cold out there tonight, but we're going to that roller coaster thing up and down with the temperatures. So it's good to meet you, Phoenix Fire. Thank you. Yeah, I'm eclectic. I'm a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Oh, let me see. Uh, Get over here. I've got two computers going. I gotta grab the right mouse. Let's see. There you go. Lady Blonde speaks for you, so that's good enough for me. I try to keep as many people with that ability as possible so that any trolls that come in can get the quick boot. I don't waste my time with them. Oh, you're going into your left hand. Oh, good. Thank you, Lady Blonde. I like to hear more about that. Tell us some more, Grinnell. Broadening into your left hand today. That sounds interesting. That's There have been a lot of YouTubers complaining that their subscribers are not getting notifications, that they've got it clicked and they still don't get notifications. They're probably messing around with the algorithms. That's what they do, constantly changing stuff. I'm glad you can hear me because I'm going through the laptop, so it's not the greatest sound. It always sounds like you're talking into 1010. I'm wanting to talk about reparenting myself in the aftermath of going no contact with town, but I am so scared to do so, even though I shouldn't. It is my story, so I wish I could get past my fears. I totally understand because I've got one foot in the broom closet and one out. I know that at any time, someone in my family, my extended family, could stumble on my site and be like, "What's this?" So you tend to police what you say with that knowledge in your head. I know, believe me, I understand. I think most plus, let's add this into the conversation. Considering the fact that we've got preachers like the one I was just talking about, without naming names, that's here in my own state, that's already burning books and talking about burning witches, it does feed into that fear factor. Are we about to go through that crap again? You know? That makes sense for now. That really does. Maybe that's something we all need to do as we grow. There you go. They all know your channel. Mm-hmm. I really, I hate that about our society. Can I vent a little bit? Because I deal with religious trauma syndrome from my years in the church. Okay. Not putting down people, it's the organization itself that breeds the hate. So for me, everything I went through, when I lost my brother, I held his hand when he died. And there were comments made by certain other family members talking about hell because my brother had a hard life, had a lot of struggles. And frankly, it really pissed me off. And that's when I started doing some serious deep research, digging deep, and found some things. I can no longer find the website, which really frustrates me. There was one website I had found, a man who was, I think he was a former rabbi who had come up against a lot of the hell teachings and stuff, and talked about the Book of Revelation that talks about the lake of fire, and he says it's a complete misunderstanding and misinterpretation of Jewish practices. That they used to have a brazier, big bowl on a stand with a fire under it that sat in the temple, and they used it to purify gold. When you put the gold in there and heat it to a certain point, it becomes clear like water, and you scrape off the impurities. And that's what is talked about. Tried as by fire, purified as by fire. It's referring to that lake of fire. That's what that refers to. It's symbology, and that's the problem with that book is it was never meant to be taken literally. It's symbolic. It's mystery religions, but they have literally interpreted things cover to cover, everything, and it has led to serious tragedies in human lives. And this is the issue I have with it. Nobody is told the whole truth about what is said in that book. Let's see, I'm going to catch up with the chat here. Yeah, shadow work. Uh huh. Also, same earlier. Oh my gosh, bro. I am so sorry. And you get these crazies that go and try to burn Ouija boards, and all they do is those people that they burn in the first place. Yeah. Here and see, here's the thing. This is something just about everyone who deals with alternative religions that are outside of the Abrahamic bunch. When I say Abrahamic, I mean Judaism, I mean Islam, and I mean Christianity. Those three are the primary Abrahamic religions, with any variations thereof. Um, there are plenty of other religions that throughout the thousands of years before these even existed referred to dark energies, entities, and some may have used the term demon, but most of them just had other vague terms. It does not mean what the church has dictated it all is supposed to mean. And it's just frustrating when a religion that's really only 2,000 years old has presumed to dictate to the world what's acceptable and what's not. There's a lot of other worldviews out here, and there's plenty of screwed up people who go around that carry a lot of the evil with them that they've done in this life. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Greed Out? And you could really get a lot just from that. That's what I'm talking about. This is how mystery religions work. It's symbology, it's metaphor. Even Jesus is quoted in the Gospels as talking about he didn't speak plainly to the people. He spoke in parables because they weren't educated enough to understand the deeper meanings. Okay? I mean, I understand the principle. It's like if you're in um, Gardnerian witchcraft or any of these other branches, you have the year and a day, and then so on and so forth, to get you firmly grounded in the basics of what they're teaching or what they believe of their practices. And that's what this was about. But what's happened, all of that has been lumped in, and they've cherry picked this, that, and the other, and it's out of context, and it's taken on face value with no deeper research. And it's in there over and over and over again. Look inside. Even Jesus said, "Don't look out here for the kingdom of heaven. It's within you. It's here. Third eye. Hello, McFly. Meditate. That's where you connect, and that's something else that witches are missing, pagans are missing. It's the meditation part. We're too busy stirring up stuff, mixing stuff together and all, but we're not actually going inside. That's where we connect with true quantum abilities here. You're funny. Yeah, you're right, Crow. They are. They're just being used. Yeah, they twist everything. It's sad. I think there's Yeah, Crow. That's what I'm working on right now. I'm working on myself, and people will call it shadow magic, or shadow work. For me, it's self work because I used to have more ability, and because of the religious trauma syndrome, I shut down. And that's again self preservation, survival. That's protecting myself. I had to because I was too deeply wounded, and it's taken me years to find some stability. Then I get hammered by losing my mother, lost my step granddad right before I lost mama. My cat died in my arms a month after my mama died. I mean, it's just my uncle Lonnie had died before that, and I've lost so many people in my life. And then me being sick with this diabetes and hypothyroid, it's just worn me out. And everything being on me to try to do, it's overwhelming. And wanting this, I want so much to be so active on this channel and on my paranormal one. The paranormal one, I'm nervous about now because I was comfortable when I started it. But then after that certain preacher started his crowd, and I'm living in the same state with this thing, and I'm like, is it going to start again? And it's something I'm interested. I want to be able to connect. I want to be able to communicate. And it's something that our people have done for thousands of years. It comes with the territory. But now it'll be uh, grounds for burning or something. Yeah, it's been rough. Yes, he is. Yeah, he is. I know you guys are at least empathic, like I'm very much. My empathic abilities have never left me. I've always been an empath, but trying to develop more because I used to be able to see and all of that. But just watching the videos of that man, he radiates that sickly green black energy. You know what I'm saying? And it's just pure low energy hate. It's like a disease coming off. That's how I see it in here. I'm seeing it, and it just, he reeks of it, and he's throwing it out like, if you can imagine a sci-fi film, and it's a real sickly green, pukey kind of green with black, and like lightning bolts going out and slamming people as he goes around and stomps and screams and throws his hands, does all this shit. I literally feel physically ill. I can't watch him. I get sick because his energy is so dark. And knowing he's just one of many, it concerns me very much. Yeah, that's good. Like, yeah, oh my gosh. Rebecca, I'm telling you that's what I told my dad. I played it for him. I said, it's not just him, Daddy. I said, listen to the people. They're cheering him on. It's the same mindset of people that stood around watching people being burned at the stake or having their head cut off, being tortured. It's sick. Mm. Oh, I want to hear more about that, Grinnell. Triangle atop a double cross, phosphorus in alchemy eats light. Tell me more. I want to learn. That's very interesting. That interests me a lot because I haven't got into that aspect. Yeah, I remember those when you did those. Those were good videos, the history. Yeah. That's something we all need to be doing more, I think. But not just that. Like what greenhouse, anything you've got on that, I would love to see a video about that. Lay it out. This is, and it's like people don't understand. You look at our languages. We write our words. What happens when you're taught? You're taught how to spell. That's not an accident. And people are so ignorant, they don't realize that even writing your words is a form of spelling. And you want your correct spelling. There's so much deeper meanings in every area of our lives that it's just, you can't possibly grasp all of it. You can only take a little bit here and a little bit there and build on the knowledge bit by bit. And there's so much symbology in shapes. And what you just really hit on it with that. Yeah, do it. Do it. I really want to see that now. I really do. Yeah. We've got, there's a whole energy that's at work right now. There is warfare going on the higher planes or the lower planes. I don't know, take your pick. And it's not what the church thinks. The church is not on the right side. The church has chosen prophet. Isn't it interesting? It sounds the same as the word prophet for somebody who foretells. And I saw something. Where did I read that the other day? Something I was reading online, or a video I think it was a video. Someone was talking about originally in the Old Testament, the word prophet does not mean what we think it means today. See, that's another problem with the Bible. People put today's meaning of words onto words that had a completely different meaning thousands of years ago. And back then, a prophet could be somebody who was just a poet because they didn't have a word for poet, for the arts like we do now. Makes you think, puts a different spin on things. How long have I been going now? 48 minutes. I'm looking forward to you seeing. You say you're working on a script. I am really looking forward to that. Yeah, it's a lot to think about. And what you have, Melissa, is what I want. Isn't that ironic? I want to be firing on all thrusters. Know how to build my shields up and forward straight ahead. That's what I want. And I'm working on that. Maybe that's your challenge in life, is to learn how to shield and how to channel it instead of shutting it down. Learn how to focus it. That's your challenge. Sounds of tarot. Yeah. But that's the thing. There's so many shapes. It's like the thing that gets me, it has always fascinated me. When you watch the videos when they did the sound experiments and they put sand on that board and they did the vibrations and the different frequencies, how it had the different shapes, and they did it with water, and it shows that there's a literal effect and that these different shapes relate to different frequencies. And that's what I'm talking about, is getting into the higher frequency of things, and that raises us up. And it's a as my Native American ancestors would say, it's a better way. It's living life in the good way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. And see, that's another thing. Different songs, the chord that they're in, the frequencies they contain affect you. You think about certain songs, you get you're really down and it's almost violent feeling, and other songs will just make you cry because they're just so beautiful. And it's same. It affects us too. It affects our emotions. It affects us here. Yep. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It really is. All right, well, coming up on 51 minutes, 52 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and wind it down here because it's getting late and I know everybody's tired. But I do want to thank all of you for being here. It means so much to me. I figured I might be sitting here twiddling my thumbs and nobody show up, but I'm glad you did. I may hop over on my paranormal channel. I'm not sure because I'm a little tired too. But I'm just wanting to get content on there. There's not a lot I can do right now. Got a lot of life situations I'm dealing with hold me down, and I'm frustrated because the developers are buying up everything around us. We don't have a place to go anymore to do the hunts like I used to do. So I'm trying to figure different things to do. So I may wait till tomorrow night to try to plan something on that tomorrow night. So if y'all, if I don't forget, I'll put a link to my paranormal channel underneath this thing when it loads. Um, yeah. Anyway, I try to keep my two channels more separate. I don't talk about this channel on that channel for obvious reasons. You guys, cool with, but the people on that community, I'm cautious with. So I just trading carefully right now to see how things are going to play out, because this guy here in my state, he concerns me. I'm not afraid, but wisely concerned. Just keeping an eye on things because he's legitimate danger. People like him are. They can justify anything. It's ironic to me. Their own Bible talks about people doing evil in the name of God and calling it good, and that's exactly what they're doing. But anyway, I love you guys, and catch you next time. Love you. Blessed be everybody. I appreciate all of you being here.